So the Alabama Senate election is on Tuesday. Make sure to pay attention to it, guys. Anyway, so it's gonna be either Roy Moore or Doug Jones as Alabama's U.S. Senator. Now, I don't know anything about Doug Jones, but other than the sexual allegations that Roy Moore is being accused of, I do know that he is probably actually homophobic, not the libtard bullcrap of homophobia, and he's pro-Christianity on government, which I would disagree with because government is running a country. Religion is the belief of a god. Those two things should not go together. At most, of course, the freedom of religion should be allowed. And of course, there is the stuff such as you can at least say stuff like, I pray for blah 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 as a politician. But anyway, so Governor Kay Ivey of Alabama says that she plans to vote for Roy Moore despite believing the women on their stories of Roy Moore sexually assaulting them. I'm going to show you the video. It's about 3 minutes. It's from AL.com just to avoid copyright issues. Anyway, so here's the video.
I will cast my ballot on December the 12th, and I do believe that the nominee of the party is the one I'll vote for. I believe in the Republican Party and what we stand for, and most important, we need to have a Republican in the United States Senate to vote on the things like Supreme Court justices, other appointments that the Senate has to confirm and make major decisions. And so that's what I plan to do, is vote for the Republican nominee, Roy Moore.
Tom. Governor, are you going to be proud of your vote for Roy Moore?
Every Alabamian has a right and duty to vote to determine who their U.S. Senate person is going to be from Alabama. And yes, I'm proud to vote, and I hope every Alabamian will be proud to cast their vote.
And do you believe any of the women that have brought accusations against Roy Moore?
I certainly have no reason to disbelieve any of them. The timing is a little curious, but at the same time, I have no reason to disbelieve them.
Mary?
It's going to be the same.
Oh, okay. Kim.
Governor, previously you said you needed more facts. What changed?
Well, the information and facts continue to come in, but everybody needs to be sure that they go to vote on December the 12th. And everybody will cast their ballot. Like every Alabamian, I'll cast my ballot.
Did the party make the right decision leaving him as the nominee, you believe?
I believe they did. It's a process that you go through where the people of Alabama choose who's going to represent their party, and it goes through the process, and you wind up with a candidate from the Democratic Party and a candidate from the Republican Party. And we've been through part of that process, and now we are at the time in the process where those two who've been selected by the respective parties are voted on in the general election by the people of Alabama, and that's where we are.
Governor, do you plan to delay or cancel?
I'm sorry?
Do you plan to delay or cancel the election?
No, I changed the election once so that the people of Alabama could vote early and have their say, and also I swore to uphold the Constitution and the laws of Alabama, and there's a specific law that spells out the process, so no, there's no reason to change the date.
I'm going to take two more questions. It's here and then Lauren.
Going forward, do you think this will affect next year's state elections?
Do I think what will?
This will supporting Roy Moore.
If anything, I hope it's going to encourage everybody to vote. We have low voter turnout sometimes in these elections, and we need to have more people voting their convictions in every election. So I hope it will spur people on to see the importance of voting in every election.
Lauren.
Governor, you said you don't disbelieve these women. As you listen to their stories, as a woman yourself, how does it make you feel?
There's never an excuse for or rationale for sexual misconduct or sexual abuse. It bothers me.
If it bothers you, does that at all go into your decision making when you decide to vote for it?
You consider all this information that you have, certainly it has an impact. But at the same time, the United States Senate needs to have, in my opinion, a majority of Republican votes to carry the day when we when they have to consider other major decisions. So that's a factor as well.
All right, thank you, everybody.
So what the governor was saying is that she'll vote for Roy Moore because he's a Republican despite the fact that she believes the women were sexually misconducted. So, yeah, I'm absolutely against this. Here's the thing that you should know in politics, guys. You shouldn't vote for the party. You should vote for who you think is the best candidate with the best ideas and maybe a little bit on their attitude, but mostly on policy. So, let's say there's this guy who I agree with their policies on, despite being on the Democrat side and I'm a Republican. I would vote for that Democrat because I think that the Democrat has better policies. Anyway, so, speaking of the whole sexual allegation stuff, we are going to look at a story about one of them. So, there was, you might have heard about this, maybe not, but there was a yearbook that was used as proof against Roy Moore, but then there was the accuser with that yearbook admitted that she wrote some part of the yearbook inscription. Now, just to tell you guys, I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's suspicious or not, but well, let's just read the article. It's from Time. The link's in the description if you want to read it. Beverly Young Nelson, the woman who offered a high school yearbook allegedly signed by Roy Moore as evidence of her sexual misconduct against a claim against him, admitted Friday to writing some of the words beneath the signature. Through Nelson's maintained her claim that Alabama Senate hopeful Roy Moore signed the yearbook and groped her in the 1970s when she was 16 years old. The revelation promoted some of Moore's supporters to question the authenticity on her allegations ahead of the special election next week. Nelson is one of at least 7 women who claim that Moore pursued them in the Senate in the late 1970s, some of who said that they were teenagers at the time. Following the amendment to Nelson's claim on Good Morning America, her lawyer, Gloria Allred, said at a news conference that a handwriting expert, Arthur Anthony, examined the signature and found to be written by Moore. Okay, so what the article is saying, at least what I read, is that yes, he did sign it, but she wrote some of the words under it. Now, I think this is suspicious, but like I said, I haven't read what the yearbook said under Roy Moore's signature. So, I don't know what is going on. If this isn't, anything that has to do with her lying, then why is this an article? But if it is, then that sounds really suspicious, and there's a good chance that some of them just made up because they don't want him in office, because politics nowadays are so ridiculous that literally you could just they'll do whatever they can to go against who they hate their candidate. Well, at least the libtards. They would riot, they would complain on social media wishing death upon conservatives. They would literally scream in the freaking sky, which that was hilarious. But for real, politics are so ridiculous nowadays that it is possible that at least some of them are lying because they don't want him in power, in Senate power. Especially this. This sounds suspicious, but I haven't read the yearbook, so I'm not too sure. Hold on. I'm going to go back to some of the article and see what it was saying. Hold on. I'm trying to find that. Okay, so yeah, it was writing some of the words beneath the signature. I don't know if that is part of yearbook inscription. I don't know what, like I said. So, yeah, you guys get it. I didn't read it, so I don't know what it says, but I am thinking for now that it is pretty suspicious. Either that or this is a pointless article. So thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this a like. And if you're new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe, like, comment on the videos below. So thank you. God bless you. God bless America. And let's wish Alabama to make the best choice.